And here we go. Yes, Pod Caviar off-season content. I know, listen, on the bright side, even a half step forward is still progress. I did some research about season 2, episode 1, the Babushka Lady.
The Babushka Lady.
The Babushka Lady. Yes, Graham is here, by the way.
Oh, that's all right.
Now, we honestly, and you may, I know we talk about having the jobs and everything, but we literally just stay in the studio for a week because we are dedicated to this.
Researching.
Yeah.
Writing, crafting.
Yeah.
This level of banter doesn't just happen when two guys sit down in a room.
I'm talking about practices, 2 a days, sometimes 3 a days.
Rehearsal.
Yeah.
It's all rehearsed.
Yes.
No one should take anything that is said seriously.
Oh, no.
This is crafted.
No. I say the same thing about my Facebook, but people are still like, my God, you need to calm down. I was like, comedy never dies, motherfucker. So...
Yeah, this is like Curb. 2 people at the top of their game.
Yeah.
Comedians like us.
Yeah.
Doing a podcast. It's all
It's all good.
It's all an act. It's all a persona.
All an act. It definitely is,
Nobody
which is fine.
It's not just 2 guys in a room on a Sunday.
No.
Having a conversation.
No. This is like hardcore shit. They need to do a Hard Knocks about us making a podcast.
All week.
How much shit that we do. Yeah.
Yep. The fights. Oh, the fights.
Jeez, they're fucking terrible,
we
man.
Fight. We get mad and go out in my neighborhood and just punch old people.
Of course.
It's just part of the process.
I don't want to punch, I don't think we should punch each other.
No.
I mean, the burden should be on the public because...
Yeah, they're the reason, they're the cause of this.
Right.
Sometimes we track down the IP addresses of listeners.
Yes.
And
we stalk the fuck out of you.
You know how hard we're working for you.
Right.
And they're like, I listened to it once. We went to high school together. Blam.
Yeah.
Blam.
Fuck that.
Pat, pat, pat.
I need this shit to be on repeat because we don't fuck around.
We need those views, buddy.
We need to fucking extend, get up this ladder, ascend this ladder.
Something happened to your windshield here. It looks like someone put a baseball bat in it a bunch of times.
Right. Hey.
Because you listened once.
Hammers the knees,
Crazy. But anyway.
Yeah. All-season content. It's pretty cool. The last episode was amazing. And,
I think we're on a good step here.
We're on a roll, I
don't know what a good step is.
And, you had a good episode on your podcast a couple episodes ago, One Gram Army, where you talked about blithering and how it's a great exercise to, just be there, and talk about shit and just knowing how to keep rolling.
It's important.
It's pretty awesome, yeah.
Just thoughts,
Yeah.
Just have thoughts.
Yeah. Random thoughts, Yep. In the mind of somebody with ADHD like myself, random thoughts are just all over the place. You got I saw a joke about a short giraffe. Oh. Yeah, it was a meme about a short giraffe. And it was like a text message formula. So it was like, hey, you've seemed kind of distant lately. And then the other person like, yeah, I've just had something on my mind. It was like, what is it? And we can talk about it. And then the person's like, short giraffe. And the other person's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then it was like a picture of a short giraffe. And then, yeah.
I think I missed it.
Which is obviously, a joke because there's no short giraffes. Not that I know of. Yeah. If you see the picture is really funny.
And it is a short giraffe?
It is a short giraffe. Yeah. They have a such thing as a mini horse that's not a pony.
Yes, I am aware of that.
Yeah, I did not know that.
No,
I figured that one out.
Quite strange looking.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious to me. Here's your short giraffe.
So to the
right
short
there.
giraffe. See, I don't know. I think here's the deal, sir. For any of this to work, that has to be the picture associated with this podcast. Like when you put it on YouTube, you need to go in and make that picture the thumbnail.
Of course.
It should be the picture, the featured image for the episode on your website, just so that when you post it,
Right.
Because people deserve to see that picture. They listen to that story. Because I was like, I don't get it. I don't know what hilarious. A short giraffe would look like.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah, it looks like an elephant, sort of. With just go look at it.
Yeah, just look up the short giraffe. Well, you can see it on the screen probably.
It's good for
you. Those are things that how people say that you lay down for bed and then you have to go to sleep and everything, and it's like, no, my mind just races.
Of course.
You know,
Short
sometimes
giraffe
it's
comes in
good,
there.
sometimes it's bad. Yeah, short giraffe, dolphins, ostriches, shit that we've talked about on this show. I saw a snake climb up a rope, and I was like, we're not safe. We're just not safe.
No.
They made a whole movie about snakes on a plane. Yeah. And I'm like, we're not going to be able to escape the snakes.
Yeah, and I mean, of many possible unlikely situations, many of them, though, are unlikely but unimaginable. You know what I mean? Like,
we
if
can
you
escape
were
them in colder climates.
You could escape snakes.
Yeah.
You could defend yourself against snakes.
I think we'll be the earth is getting hotter though, so the ice is going to be gone.
Yeah, but no, it'll get warmer, but I'm saying snakes would have to multiply at I mean, it would have to be
how much do they multiply as much as deer?
I don't know, but well, I mean, you have to imagine at any point an ecosystem could get out of control. But the thing with animals like that, I would guess, is that they're predators. So if you keep destroying the environment, the first thing that goes is the prey.
Their food, their food source.
So then it just sort of trickles down. That I don't think you would have to worry about.
True.
Being overrun with snakes, but in the event that you were, it would be pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
Because it would have to be a lot for you to not be able to defend yourself. But what if it was like a wave of snakes?
Yeah. Or a snake pit. You ever see that video of that lizard that like ran away from the snakes? Mm-hmm. And that was a lot of snakes. That was over 100 snakes. Easily.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just fucking hanging out.
Oof. And that was a lot of snakes.
Right.
Which means that something was sustaining their numbers.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Probably those lizards.
Yeah. Well, there's
it's got to be something.
That seemed to me to be like the one like big feast they would
have. Of course.
Unless that's how the species exists. Like, in the off season, they just eat the older snakes.
Yeah.
And then when it's on and those iguanas are, coming up off of that beachhead.
Oh, yeah.
They just eat as many as they can. That's what sustains them.
Maybe.
It's,
yeah,
the balance of the ecosystem there.
Yeah, nature is pretty. I learned something about salamanders. My homegirl has a master's degree in biology, and she was telling me that the female salamander just lays eggs, and they're not hard yet; they're soft. They have to be laid in water, and the male then comes and fertilizes just the eggs. And I was like, wow! So they don't get any pussy.
Nope.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Soundboard is in the house, too.
Your whole life, you just fertilize eggs without...
Nope. That's it.
Pussy
that's your deal. And eating and going around.
Yeah. I understand why some animals are just angry all the time.
And eat stuff.
Yeah. It's just...
Because sharks, a lot of fish operate that way. Mm-hmm. And they're angry.
Yeah.
Because they really don't even have the part of their life where they procreate. I mean, look at how awful human beings are. Mm-hmm. And as a point of our species, at some point you start, developing some kind of small group of people you have some dealings with.
Right.
Even if you become a horrible person.
Of course, yeah, you still have somebody. Yeah.
But if you're a shark, there's not really. You really do just eat.
Yeah.
And try to make more sharks,
Of course.
But you don't really mate in a family or anything. You just fertilize eggs. Mm-hmm. So otherwise, you're just a giant tube of muscles with a blender attached to the front of your head.
Definitely a blender. Yeah. Because those teeth are fucking sharp.
Yeah.
And it's many different ones, rows and everything.
Yep.
Pretty bad.
Nope. Don't go out there.
No.
Don't get in the ocean.
Fuck that.
Don't do it.
I would get in the ocean, but I'm not deep in the ocean, no.
No, definitely not that.
Yeah.
Definitely uncomfortable because of my understanding of myself as an organism and my insignificance in the cosmos.
Right.
And then even more so magnified my insignificance in a body of water.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
The ocean. Mm-hmm. If you just get in the Pacific Ocean, you're yep.
Yeah.
Out
I'm in here.
Most of Earth is this mysterious liquid that I can't breathe. I will die if I'm out in it too long, and I can't drink it. I can't do anything with it.
No,
I have no use for this.
Nope.
The things
completely
in
out
it,
of your element.
If I want to eat something in it, I would have to take it to dry land.
Yes. Yeah.
and do stuff to it.
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
Nope. I'm aware of what
No.
my species is designed to do.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. I see no need in a non-emergency situation to spend time out in the in any part of what most of Earth is.
Right.
Most of the planet we live on.
Yeah, it's water.
That you can't drink.
Of course, yes.
Most of the
Yeah.
planet is uninhabitable
By
for humans.
by the dominant species on the
Yeah.
planet.
Quote, yeah, like you
Yeah,
said.
air quote, yeah.
Yeah. The dominant species on the
Unless
planet.
it's a cruise. Have you been on a cruise? Would you go on a cruise?
Yeah, but you know what the cruise would do? You know what the ocean could do to a cruise ship?
You flip it over.
Well, it'd
sink
just
it
be
absolutely.
like swallow.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
never was a thing.
Right.
Ocean.
Yeah. And the ocean is really deep, and there's been plenty of times where we just haven't found stuff out there.
No.
Shit goes missing and it's gone.
Yep. And even if you find it, it's there it is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
That was
you're not
pretty
gonna find it.
incredible
It's not gonna
because
be a
this is
miraculous story.
This is vast. This is a vast area.
Of course.
And you found this tiny thing the sea swallowed up.
Yep.
That you thought was gigantic.
Of course. Yeah.
You thought was huge.
It keeps happening, man. Just like Titanic, they thought that it was
Yep.
not unsinkable, but very hard to sink, and
Yeah,
it got fucking sank.
Yeah, that's an early example.
Mm-hmm.
Think about World War II, right? The massive, or all the naval battles ever,
Right.
that humans have had in the sea, right? That involved ships sinking other ships,
Right.
The sea just swallowed all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
There was nothing to be cleaned up. There
No.
wasn't a battlefield.
Nope.
You can't put like a marker. You could like put a buoy out there, but the ocean might
course.
swallow that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at one point, a huge war happened on this planet too,
Of course.
where hundreds of thousands of people imaginably died in the ocean,
Yeah.
and ships, billions
Lost, yeah.
of trillions of dollars worth of materials
Yep.
and ships and people and equipment just glope.
Yeah. Yeah. There might be some things that float, but at the same time, most of it is gone.
Yep. Just goes down there.
It's just gone.
Oh, the amount of debris that is there is even more insignificant than the massive ship. You know?
Yeah. And you can't.
That people were like, look at this huge ship we built to
Right.
conquer the ocean. And the ocean was like, "Bloom."
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
nah. Gotta show you who's boss.
We shot at each other and launched airplanes.
Right.
Like had airplanes in the air over
course.
the ocean
Yeah.
to fight ships in the ocean.
Yep.
Just ocean, fighting. Like and the ocean ate all of that.
Yeah.
All the evidence of that.
Yeah. Surviving.
There's nothing
a
on the
ship-
surface.
Surviving a sinking ship is not guaranteed.
No.
At all.
There's parts of Europe that are still pitted from World War One, and definitely from World War II.
Right.
And the ocean just looks the same.
Yeah. It looks the same. Waves and
Yeah.
nice blue color and
We
everything.
went out to where, with one of the biggest naval engagements ever in history was fought, and you just went out there and you were on a boat. People would be like, this is what happened here. And you'd be like, looks like the ocean,
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
be wigged out that all of it was like half a mile below you. But
Of course. Yeah.
that's another reason why I don't want to get in the ocean, because I don't want all that a half a mile below me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be suspended at the top of a half a mile of a solution that will kill me.
Yeah.
Like just clinging to the reality of the part of the world that I can live in,
Right.
from like my neck up.
Yeah.
Because I'm a strong swimmer.
Okay.
I like water. I love swimming pools. I can swim. I throw down. I have no fear of water. But being in the ocean, to me, is silly. It's a silly prospect.
They have parts that are off the coast where it's a long sign and it's like an X, and it says like, if you go past this, we won't be able to get to you in time. And I forgot what they're called, like dead man zones or some shit like that. But yeah, the oceans they're crazy, and water itself, you can't really. Water is powerful. You can't compress water, so when you have all these high pressure shit like pressure washing, they can cut metal with water, or they can do a lot of things with water. Like shit is not, it's nothing to fuck with.
No, agreed.
You know,
And
Godzilla's in water and everything. So don't want to
Jaws.
wake him up. Yeah, all those creatures.
Think of all the horrifying things too we as a species associate with the water, even just fictionally. You know, almost all the time. Like you said, Godzilla. All of those monsters come out of the ocean.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
Jaws comes out of the ocean. There's always some, and then 50,000 leagues under the sea or whatever. You know, there's giant squids and sperm whales, and that's a real thing too. We see like evidence of this whole alien universe wash up onto our shores.
Yeah, we're like, what the fuck is this shit?
Giant sperm whales that are like boxes with a slit in the bottom that's full of giant teeth.
Yeah.
And like a bottom jaw.
Of course.
And they're huge.
Yeah.
And they fight with squids that are also 30 feet long and wrap their tentacles around them, and they try to kill each other.
Yeah. And on the surface, we're just sitting there watching waves.
On Twitter. Fucking around on the internet like, it's pretty important what we got going on. And meanwhile, there's this whole other universe.
I know I brought up Godzilla. Have you seen the trailers for the new movie? It looks pretty awesome. Being a longtime Godzilla fan and seeing all those monsters in one movie.
I did notice a lot of the hitters are there.
Yeah.
They made sure to show us that. The last Godzilla movie was fine.
Yeah.
You know, the Godzilla stuff was great. You know, and I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Of course.
I want it to be kind of hokey. You know what I mean?
Right.
And over the top.
Yeah, because,
you know, I expect if they're going to put the money into it, though, that it also looks cool.
Yeah.
And I think they did fine.
Oh, yeah.
And this one
I
looks
enjoyed
like,
it.
This one looks like we're going to see all the monsters, so I'm hoping for very little story.
I don't think it's going to be that much of a story.
How long? Do we know how long the running time is going to be on that?
I don't know yet. It can't be. Hopefully it's over 2 hours. That's a movie that I would like to see over 2 hours. I went and saw the new Mission Impossible yesterday, and that movie was damn near 3 hours. And I was like, they could have cut out a lot of this shit. And it was very predictable, but the action was good.
Yeah.
The action was very good. They sprinkled in humor at the right time, so to break the monotony of it. But the story itself was just, from the beginning, it was like, this is what's going to happen, you know. And they didn't even do it. They could have. I feel like they could have did it in a way that was more low key. But it's like, it's a certain piece of equipment that gets pulled out, and that's like the clue. But what they did was, it was like they kind of like, he pulled out the phone or whatever. It was a phone, and then it's like they kind of froze on it for a little while, and then it was like, you know, handed it over, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that's obviously what's going to start this whole storyline of shit. But
well, yeah, you have to focus in for people.
Yeah.
You have to feed it to them a little bit.
yeah, movies
You know
back in
what
the
I
day
mean?
didn't feed you shit, really.
Nah, but you would get a little something.
A little something,
You know,
yeah.
you get a
But
little
what I'm saying
taste.
is that the little something back then would be, you know, here
Yeah.
instead of here. You know, it's like those new video games where you get something and it like floats there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like inspect and you can spin it around and shit.
Or it like just freezes because like the storyline's tree.
Right,
At
yeah.
some point, and you're like, oh shit, I made a decision here.
I like those games though.
I do. You know, I'm super late to the party, but I've been playing Mafia 3
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to kind of like figuring out when I'm done with it though, because I still have Grand Theft Autoing to do.
Right.
But it's pretty dope. Like the way it's put together. It's a bad mixture though, because some of the cutscenes in the story are like phenomenal. Like the way their faces are mapped and shit. It looks like it's like creepy. It looks like you know, Tom Hanks in the Polar Express level
shit,
of
right.
quality. It's real sharp. And like the acting's really good. But then like most of the cutscenes when you get something done look like you know, I don't know, like an RPG.
Yeah.
Like it's like two guys standing in a room. It looks like a bad cutscene in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
And so there's always a part of me.
A lot of those.
Yeah, there's always a part of me when I'm playing Mafia. I'm like, you know, Grand Theft Auto did all of this better.
Of course.
But it also deserves some attention though, because it was clearly like well constructed, and it does have like it has a much more violent element to it when you're killing people up close.
Okay.
I felt like they didn't necessarily need to spend so much time developing this complicated storyline where they could have just been setting you loose on dudes.
Yeah.
You know, he like stabs people in the throat and, you know, guts people with his knife.
Shit.
And, yeah, you know, stomps on dudes' faces.
I need to fucking get that then.
Throws dudes into the swamp. It takes place in New Orleans. He like throws dudes into the swamp. But the storyline is phenomenal. Like
Right.
it does keep you engaged. But
Okay.
eventually you kind of get to the point where you're in a spot where you kind of have to just keep doing some missions
Of course.
to get to the next part of the story.
Yo, there was a game that I just bought randomly because it was on sale. It was called like the late shift or the night shift, and it wasn't a stop motion or like a CGI. It was like video, but on top of that video, choices would come up and you would have to pick left or right or whatever, and then it would change depending on what you did.
Yeah.
Not only is that game innovative to a certain extent because they had games like that back in the day. Wing Commander was one of them.
Yeah.
But I like how it was fluid and it didn't really like you have a timer to pick it and then they factor that into the video. So it's not like people just driving in the car and they just freeze until you make a decision.
Right.
But it's like, they kind of move you along. And
Oh, I see what you're saying. So the transitions between the decisions and the storyline are way smoother.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
That does
really
sound very
smooth.
cool.
Yeah. I don't really think if there's I don't think I've seen a loading screen in there besides like the beginning, but you basically, what happens is you work in as an underground attendant / guard and then underground parking garage in London. And so these group of robbers, they come in and then somehow one of their people gets fucked up. So you have to take his place basically. And the storyline is crazy.
That sounds dope.
It deals with like the Chinese mafia and all this shit and like a little trinket or artifact. And they're like, it's a cat and mouse game throughout the city at night. And you just caught into it. You can't get out of it.
Nice.
And I've already gotten 2 different endings. I think there's like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
There might be more than that.
Always
but-
something to be said for that too. Something that's playable like that. I want to, if you don't mind, nerding out here at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, that's fine.
I've been recently developing an opinion about playing online video games.
Okay.
I play a lot of Grand Theft Auto. I love it. Grand Theft Auto is my favorite video game franchise
Right.
of all time, hands down. Going back to the top down on PC. It's
Yeah,
no
okay.
contest for me all the way back as long as I can remember. Grand Theft Auto's brought the heat.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Playing online is fun. It's cool. There's like other online people running around. But like sport that and like sports games,
Yeah.
like me and Griff both play MLB The Show, but he plays online like almost exclusively.
Rarely.
Yeah. But for me, when I come home and I'm like, ooh, I could squeeze in a video game, baseball game.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to depend on the other person to like
Right.
not have some wacky shit going on with the way they're set up.
Yeah.
If I start beating them, that they'll sit and play,
Right.
that they're, and that they're not going to be up by like 8 runs in the first 2 innings because
Yeah.
the pitch freezes as it comes
Of course,
across the
yeah.
plate. I just don't. It's like, this is my leisure time. I don't want to use it to interact with people don't know.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of times when I play Grand Theft Auto online, I'll just play the races because they're timed.
Yeah.
I'll get the money and then and I'll go free run in the city. But it's hard for me to do the missions where you have to depend on 3 other people.
Yeah. Especially the heist. I can't do
Yeah,
that.
and you have
Fuck
to.
that shit.
You know how long you would have to play to consistently get those
Yeah.
and get through them where
Oh, yeah.
everyone lives?
Right.
Nah.
Yeah. You're talking about hours.
Yeah.
Luckily, Rockstar is still, they just released new content for Grand Theft Auto 5. And you know what? That game had, I think they said they had the biggest budget of any video game ever.
It's a
But
wonderful thing.
within 24 hours, it like made that back and then some. And it's
Yeah.
still making money to this day.
Of
I'm talking
course.
about probably trillions of dollars. If
It
not,
could
it's
be.
definitely billions.
Of course. It's definitely the most
Yeah.
successful shit ever. It's crazy too, though. That game, the online content is constant.
Yes.
And they're constantly like, whatever, here's this thing we did. Here's this race we did where the cars turn into different vehicles.
Yeah.
And you have to fly and jump. And
They even
run.
have it now to where
Yeah.
you can do the heist. You can have your own arms dealership. You can have your own bike club.
Yeah, they have
you
these
know?
new like storylines.
Yeah.
Here's the reality of those things. And I certainly appreciate them for making it. They get the nod. But you know how much you have to play without
lot.
paying extra money to get the money, which I refuse to do.
Right.
I refuse to do it.
A lot.
You have to play so much. so
even
much.
because they will give you free money here and there,
Yeah.
but even then it's like
still
you still have to put in
rewards even when
hours.
you're playing.
And I haven't
Yeah.
played video games that much since I was like in high school, dude.
Right. I can't
Because I can't do it now.
No. That you know how much
way
of
too
your-
much.
how much of your time that is.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And it bums me out as a guy because I like playing video games.
Mm-hmm.
But Griff's a dude. He's like that online baseball. That's what he likes to do. Just play people online. And it's fun. Sometimes when he comes down, we'll switch. Like we'll play someone online and he'll pitch and I'll bat.
Yeah.
And it's fun. But you know what else I like to do? I just kind of like to play that day's game.
Yeah.
Or play a game with like a Legends team against a minor league team, or
Right.
go to the sliders. I have a sliders setting that's called Roids.
No shit.
Yeah, if I'm having a bad day, I'll set it to that. And I'll hit 8 home runs off Max Scherzer before they pull him.
Right.
Because it's fun, because it's baseball. I don't
Of course.
actually want to be like, I mean, I am by default good at that game because I've played it so much. But
Right.
I don't necessarily want to have to like do all the stuff. You
No.
know what I mean?
No.
Like go online, log
Yeah.
in. I just want to play the game.
I don't think I played. I think the last time I played an online sports game was like NFL Blitz on Xbox 360. And
Never got into online Madden, huh?
No.
Me neither. Me
no.
neither. I played it like a handful of times.
Yeah, it's always
And
some
I was like,
bullshit.
this is terrible.
Yeah.
I don't like.
my cousin plays it a lot, and he's always posting on Facebook how he's just demolishing motherfuckers. So,
Some people love that.
I play Call of Duty online, Battlefield, all the shooters and everything.
I used to play Battlefield online a lot, but even that though was like I got to the point where I was like, man, I have to play this a lot. Although those games do load quickly.
Yeah,
like
they
you
do.
could get 1 or 2 in.
Right.
If you had an hour to burn, you could get 1 or 2 of those maps,
Yeah.
in, without a lot of interruption.
Yeah, it depends on what.
You want to do a
whatever,
heist on Grand Theft Auto 5?
You better clear like at least 30 minutes.
It'd be an
At
hour
least
for you
30
to get it
minutes.
set up because you have to keep inviting people.
that's right.
Then you just get random people. And now try starting over now.
Yeah, fuck no.
Nobody's still doing them because all the
Right.
people who are willing to sit through it did it already. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the only
Yeah, I know.
way you
If
get
I
the
go back to
money.
Grand Theft Auto, I'm playing like a race, like you said, or a fucking team deathmatch or some shit. Like I'm not really,
That setup's
or
good.
like a mission,
or
not
I'll
a
just
heist.
run around the city stabbing people.
That too.
Yeah. It's it's something to do.
Right.
You go start fights. One of my favorite, really the only reason when Grand Theft Auto Online was on PlayStation 3, there wasn't all this extra stuff. So
Right.
all I would do is do missions and like stuff just to get the money to buy bullets.
Of course.
Because that was all I wanted to do was
Yeah.
drive around the city starting it with people.
And everybody did that, and it was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
It was
and, like,
amazing.
you'd be running around downtown, and the jet fighter just flies over and shoots missiles,
Of course.
into the street, and
Yeah.
cars are blowing up, and it skirts through the buildings like that. That's the beauty of online Grand Theft Auto.
Of
to
course.
me. All of this, a lot of the additional bells and whistles.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should just get access to it because I've been playing Grand Theft Auto. I've
That's
been
true.
giving
No, I mean a lot of that shit is free, but like you still have to buy like the guns and shit like that. But
exactly.
yeah,
But you can't do the mobile command center. You can't
No,
do
you
the,
gotta buy all that
doomsday
shit, yeah.
stuff. You can't do this new After Dark thing unless you have like 1.8 million.
really.
Yeah,
I think I might have that though.
I think I have it too. Actually,
That After Dark shit does look good.
that reminds me about the Mafia 3 thing too. Is part of why I want to get done with that is like the controls are slightly different.
Oh fuck that.
And I went to play.
I hate that shit.
I went to play Grand Theft Auto, and I was like, no,
Yeah,
no,
I fucking hate that shit, dude. I feel like with certain games like that, standardize the fucking thing. Standardize it, man.
No, you have to hold down square, and like a little circle appears when you open a car door on Mafia 3.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, you know
the
what? Just
sprint
Cause 3
button
is like that.
different. The sprint is actually the opposite. Like, you tap
Fuck
X on
that,
Grand Theft
yeah.
Auto. In Mafia 3, you push down the left joystick, which is to creep on Grand Theft Auto.
Yes, it
So
is,
I'm on
yeah.
Grand Theft Auto trying to run away from some crazy shit.
You just are creeping the
Running
shit.
is
Right.
so important in Grand Theft Auto. I cover a
definitely
lot
is.
of map running around.
Hell yeah.
Sometimes
you just gotta.
a lot of times it's part of the missions.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
cover all this ground, go up these stairs, like go around these corners.
Of course.
Yeah. But see, I still like that part of Grand Theft Auto too. It
Like
is
just the
okay
missions and
for-
shit?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me to go back, I
Of
play
course.
the missions. I'll do director's mode. You ever played around in director's mode?
I don't think so.
You can play as any person you've run across. And actually, as you play the game, you unlock more characters.
Really?
Like basically anyone who's been generated to be a character in the game.
Right.
But you can also adjust the parameters, like the old school cheats. Like you can remove the gravity.
Oh,
you can
shit.
have infinite ammo. You can be invincible. You can have explosive ammo. You can have, fire starting ammo.
Oh, well, shit, now I got to do this.
You can spawn all these vehicles. You can like set yourself in places. You can create stunt maps like with all the pieces. It's like playing Excite Bike or whatever.
Oh,
like
shit.
where you remember you could like
Right.
make the track.
Yeah.
You can do that on this. Like, but basically it's like tubes that go through the sky and
Right.
like, all this crazy shit.
Damn.
No, Grand Theft Auto has a lot of layers that don't have anything to do with like being online. Like, I gotta earn this fake money.
Yeah, that's true.
This is my second job. I would play with people online. They'd be like, I got to get to work. And I'm like, no, I just got off of work.
Right.
I paid for this game.
Right.
I paid my money. Real, actual money.
Yes.
For this game. Not only this game, the system to play it on, and the access to
Right.
the internet that I'm already paying for.
Of course.
And then like, give us extra money for access to our internet through your internet. Fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking horseshit. Nonsense.
Yes.
Fucking I paid for the game. I should be able to do all the stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes I play director's mode. Because I'll be like Lamar. Like I'll be Slink Johnson's character. You can turn off the gravity. It's great.
I need to check that shit out.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
Because it does sound like the old cheat codes and everything. Because those motherfuckers were amazing.
Yeah, it is a little disappointing that they never were like, here's the cheat code. Although that was my deal, though, going all the way back to Vice City, was that I would always beat the game without using cheat codes once all the way through. Like, hand to guy, I would always beat the game one time.
Right.
Even if I played with the cheats, I wouldn't save the progress because I wanted the trophies.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I played a lot of Grand Theft Auto.
Hell yeah.
San Andreas. I got all the way through San Andreas one time without cheating. And then, man, the San Andreas cheats were wonderful.
Yeah, they were.
What happened to the Riot cheat?
I don't know.
That's a great cheat.
Is it not in 5?
Mm-mm.
What?
Nope.
That shit was a great cheat. Yeah.
Nothing.
Damn.
No, that was fantastic. You made it so, and people would just be fighting on the
Yeah,
street.
it's just randomly.
You could give them weapons.
Yeah.
You could give them like low tier weapons where they all had
Damn.
clubs. You could give them pistols. Sometimes you could give them rocket launchers.
Right.
And it'd be like two
Yeah,
old
it'd just be a
ladies
mayhem
shooting
mode,
rocket
yeah.
launchers.
Right.
Could you imagine how phenomenal that would be on this Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
Like how insane that would be.
Hell yeah,
With
it'd be
those
crazy.
graphics. Yeah. Something to be said for that.
I should put that shit in like...
We've done 32 minutes of your podcast.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, shit. I mean, 32 minutes is not bad.
That's pretty
for
good.
Off-season content shit.
I really didn't mean to interrupt that conversation, but we had been hammering the Grand Theft Auto thing.
Right,
It
yeah.
felt like...
I mean, because, Grand Theft Auto is like they kind of burst all the rest of these games that's like the same thing,
Grand Theft Auto is the vision into the future of what a simulated reality will look like.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the idea of VR Grand Theft Auto makes me have heart palpitations. Like that I could like put on a headset and I could, even if I had to hold the controller to do the guns and such, and even to like move myself around. If you moved yourself around in the world, but instead of the right joystick, you turned your head.
Yeah.
You
that should
looked
be
around
crazy,
at
right?
what you were doing.
Yeah.
With that refresh rate. I mean, that's coming eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Definitely.
It definitely is. If
Certainly
they haven't
in the
done it
next
already,
20
then
years.
it's definitely coming.
I mean, they've played with it, but the VR deal is the refresh rate makes people barf.
Yeah.
Like gives people,
Of course.
But I'm definitely all about getting plugged into that.
Be like getting plugged into the Matrix.
Oh.
Or Inception.
Plug me in.
Yeah.
Plug me in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you can go and do like an Inception where you're in what looks like a reality, but it's like your greatest, whatever you want in life, would you do that?
Well, how much time would pass in this reality?
Just, until you die.
Nah, because I have a kid, you can't just...
No, I mean, if it was... But you wouldn't know, though, right?
Right, but the world would exist.
Right, but even okay, I understand that because
I would have to be aware that I went in there. If the option was like you go in there.
No, if you're in there, you wouldn't know though.
No,
you would just wake up.
Definitely not. That's even more irresponsible.
Wasn't that the premise of the movie? Because a lot of people didn't know they were in, or did they know they were in?
Nah, I think in Inception they just put people into people's dreams. It was like espionage. You know what I mean?
That was the main crew, but when they went through, I remember they went through one of them. Where it was just like
into a person's dream who was a figment of the dream.
No, that is awesome too. But they went to an area and it was like an underground thing where it was just cots set up and people were just in their dreams. And the dude was like, they just stay there.
Yeah.
I mean, how fucked up would your life have to be? Was that something that would you be poor your whole life and do
in
it?
A situation where I was like single and like I didn't have to worry about it, but it was just like, oh, you just get to, that's your existence.
Right.
Oh, I don't know though, because there's a lot of cool shit about reality.
It's true.
It's a lot of important things about reality.
That's true.
Exiting reality like that is incredibly irresponsible.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's basically like if you might as well be like, would you like to become a heroin addict?
Yeah, that's true.
Know? Like,
but a lot of people do that though.
Yep, exactly. So, of course,
they're getting away from something though.
Yeah, if I have things I'd like to run away from, but I neither want heroin or
that's true
to be like asleep forever.
That's true.
Nah.
What about Total Recall though? Kind of the same thing.
Well, I mean, without the nasty side effects, if I could like go somewhere for a couple, like a day, and wake up the next day and be like, that was an amazing trip to Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think it wouldn't fuck with you? Because that whole premise of that movie was like,
of course,
he was like, is this real? Is this real? Is this real? You know,
planted memories.
Right.
In your head.
And then it got to the point to where, as you watching it as a fan, you're like, well, shit, was that real? What's going on here?
Yep.
And it always like. There are people who actually will go leave that movie and movies like it and will be like, I think that's somebody from the real world trying to warn me that I'm in a dream. People will know shit do that. It's happened before.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
You know? And you look at all these cults, all these fucking cults, like that one back in the day where this dude was creepy as shit. And I can't remember their names, but they all like covered themselves up in like purple.
They had the sneakers, and
they
the
ate
sneakers
and everything.
With the poison in it.
Yeah. I mean, that's how cults get started, dude.
Hail Bop.
Yeah.
That was them.
Yeah. When Haley's Comet came back around the last time.
Yeah.
But it was like I read a story
poison.
about that, and like going in there was so creepy and everything because they had a countdown on their website, and then it went down and it was like code red or whatever. A lot of that shit is still online.
Oh, yeah.
And that video is on YouTube. And if you go back and listen to the dude that started that shit, it's like, wow, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yep.
But
cults. Well, although there's I don't even know if I would bring this up because I'm in such a good mood. And I really, the Hail Bop people, they all signed up for that. But, in Jonestown, a lot of people were massacred, basically, with like poisoned syringes. It wasn't just the Kool-Aid.
Right. And a lot of those were like kids.
Yeah.
And that's terrible.
Yeah, that one's incredibly dark. A lot of those people didn't sign up for that necessarily.
No, they didn't.
And the message Jim Jones brought of like racial unity and like the failing of America after the civil rights movement, a lot of what he said made sense.
Of course.
And I don't know that I would have necessarily subscribed to it because, again, I'm not a dude who would be willing to sleep instead of live in reality.
Right.
But, like, I understand those people's reasoning. Yeah. And, like, a lot of
those people, those cult leaders, they have a lot of, like, a hint of logic and, like, things that could have happened.
The Hail Bop folks, though, all signed up for it.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a much more cultivated group.
That was, definitely. That was more, they were more of a really locked off from reality type
and I
shit.
think
when they went through the castration and everything.
They showed them. They chose their way, and it's
it's tragic.
But it's also a lot less like horrifying than Jonestown.
Yeah,
because
definitely
the Hail Bop folks.
Yeah.
So I see him in my head.
The whole story of Jim Jones, how he came up to power and everything, was crazy. He used to go door to door selling pet monkeys because that was a thing back in the day in America.
No, I know a lot about Jim Jones and Jonestown. Maybe that wouldn't be a bad idea. Maybe we should at some point do a joint podcast like about Jonestown.
We could do that.
Yeah, I could definitely. I know enough.
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
Damn, it does feel like I've had this conversation.
I could have sworn we've had this conversation before.
Are we in a time loop?
Is this a time loop? Is this Total Recall? Oh, my gosh.
Is this real?
But anyway, yeah, Pod Caviar off-season content. I literally have started doing research for episode 2. So hopefully by next week, I left my notes at work.
Might
But
be
I got to
about
bring them
Jonestown.
back. Yeah. Hey, yeah. One way or another. It's either going to be Babushka Lady or
We'll
Jim
do Babushka
Jones.
Lady. That's
Okay,
your
yeah.
podcast. And then
Yeah.
eventually we'll do a Jim Jones joint podcast.
Okay.
When we really feel like bumming each other out really bad.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All
I don't
right,
know what
man.
it'll be.
Go ahead and you got something to plug. Anything?
Oh yeah, if
Announcements?
you're still with us, the 1 Gram Army podcast is basically the first half of this podcast, and listen to it. Tony's on it most of the time anyway.
Of course.
So basically, if you listen to my podcast first and then Tony's podcast, you get it how it happened. If you listen to Tony's podcast and my podcast second, they don't. It'll work just the same.
Yeah.
It'll work.
Yeah.
all the
We're pretty
same.
interchangeable right now, unless it's a crossover episode, and then you'll be lost. But
Listen to all of
we'll
them.
always guide you the way.
Just keep listening.
Yeah.
We're doing things.
Yeah. We're always here.
Yeah,
like,
I'm driving
well,
here.
yeah. What the fuck? Man? Don't make us pull this motherfucker
Hey, I'm
over. I
walking
swear.
over
Yeah.
there. I'm walking over there.
Hell yeah. But anyway, yeah, we'll be here, man. We'll be back, and thank you for being a listener. My name is Tony. This has been Pod Caviar, and I'm out.